What's up, YouTube? My name is Neil Hamilton, and this is Get Technical. Is my eyelid swollen shut from sun poisoning? Yes. Is it the first time? Did I go outside for the first time in about 2 or 3 months for my friend's birthday on Sunday? Yes. Is it distracting for me? Yes. But am I having a good Tuesday? Yeah, I guess so. It's pretty good so far. Let's look at some charts. First up on deck, Occidental Petroleum, OXY. Are we gonna get the big pop on this one? What we've got here, in my humble opinion, is a big old cup. Looking at the weekly, it's much easier to see. Hey guys, no, it's not pink eye. It's sun poisoning. I think it's sun poisoning. Tiny Pie, thanks for the concern, bro. I went outside for head of the news desk, Brent Slava's, the BSer, if you're on Benzinga Pro's birthday, and I stared at the sun for a little bit too long with my right eye, and I'm burnt on lots of parts of my body. And then today I woke up. And do I care? No, I don't care. I'm happy with the way I look. I don't have any aloe vera or aloe vera, however you say it. I just rubbed soap in it when I took a shower. I figured that would disinfect it. It stung a little bit, but that's how you know it's working. Guys, Occidental Petroleum, we have been watching this. This is one of the OG tickers that we've been looking at on the show. I'm looking at this like a cup situation, baby. Looking for a little bit of some sell-off happening here. All right. Finding support. Right here, we've got this volume coming in. Well, that was a shitty line. We've got this little volume shelf here. So we're looking for support either here on the fib or perhaps a little bit lower. Don't be surprised if you see some body candles like this with some wicks that just tickle it. See, I see you there, volume profile. Tick, 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 tick. A little bit awkward, but, you know, it gets the job done. So at any rate, Occidental Petroleum, not time for me to enter yet. I want to see it sell off a little bit, but I do like the stock. Brent's here. Hey Brent, I got a pretty bad sunburn from Sunday. I'm pretty sure I made my eyes swell shut. Yep, I hope it gets better too. Next one up, CLF. CLF is looking like it's in the buy zone. Just watching out here. We're on the daily. Just wanting to get past about 2167, which is right in sort of that sweet area when you get these W's. Let me, I hate this song. Don't like it. Yeah, there we go. When you get these W patterns, this is the way it just happens every single time. This is kind of the resistance area, not the tippy top. That's the ocean spray. That's the ocean spray. It's this area. So no surprise here that this is where we see the last of our little volume shelf here. So I would be looking for a break above about 21 and some change, 2170, to get up there. Looks a little red. Yeah, thank you. Poseidon's Kiss. Yeah, so anyway, CLF, I think, breakout above this level right here. Another one's really exciting. Have you guys, did you guys Marcus, because I want to. Marcus says light mode. Why? Because I wanna. Have you guys been scared away from cryptocurrency completely? Because this is a good one. Fibonacci anchored to the like first super high that it had
tomorrow, and we will get to those. But all right, guys, I'm gonna send you.
I think my YouTube video started changing or started playing. What is the plugin for cost distribution on the side? It's not a plugin, Nathan. It's just called volume profile or volume by price. It's an indicator or a study. It's probably on your brokerage if it has good charting. It's right here if you're using what is it called? TradingView volume profile, and it's the visible range right here. At any rate, Fibonacci retracement anchored to the high on the 30th of August 2020, and then the second anchor at the low, so the ensuing lowest low where it pivots back up into a short-term trend. And then we fast forward to the future, and then we see that line getting respected as support. Beautifully wonderful. And then to understand it further, so number one, when you see that, you're like, okay, we found support. There's two things happen here that we love. Two things happening. We found support that's been touched 1, 2, 3, 4 times, confirmed by previous levels. It's also on the Fibonacci. Also, RSI, low. Not only that, but that low RSI followed by, let me double click so you guys can see it. This is the ultimate like rat snack criteria. That RSI being low is followed by a surge in buy volume. And that buy volume here, this yellow line here is the average, is well above average. It's a little bit more than twice the average yesterday. Today, just about exactly double the average, trailing over 20 days. Now we bring in the volume profile tool that we just discussed and look at it like a launch pad. So we know we have a key resistance here based on the Fibonacci, and because we've got all of this buying and selling happening here, as you can see with this peak. This is like the biggest peak coming out of the volume profile. So many of you that use a volume profile would call this the point of control, which is basically like a magnet. So crossing above that magnet, powerful sign. And then breaking back up to breaking up to this level or retracing this level, 22.9, no problem, made it over the last 3 days. That's an over 50% move. So now we're still low on the RSI. Will the buyers continue to come in? Possibly. This doesn't look like a pivot for me. This does not look like a turnaround on the short trend that we have, this candle. When you go down to 6 hour, often a very useful one for pretty much everything, but really, really useful for cryptos. And you can see it's just a perfect W here. Our RSI is actually a little oversold on the 6. So we're going to expect a little consolidation at this point. But I really like the state that this one is in, and would not be surprised if we get something kind of symmetrical getting us up to about 31. So there's game potential there. I'm going to go to today's high. So from today's high, there's potential for an additional 33.5% there. So that's BAL. That one's on Kraken. Pretty sure it's Kraken. I have 3 crypto brokerages that I use. I always have to switch around whichever one I find a good chart for. Julie says, tea bag soaked in cold water and placed on your sunburn area will help with the swelling. I will do that. I will do that as soon as I'm done with work today. Thank you, Julie. Manny says, I'm about to use TradingView now. TradingView is a great tool. I'll let you know if you also like getting news and you like having a really good scanner and like options, unusual options, activity alerts and stuff like that. TradingView is in Benzinga Pro. So you can get a free trial of Benzinga Pro and you'll get the TradingView charts in the charting tool for Pro. So you get kind of a bunch of value all in one. So do I see anything interesting about RMO technically? Alexander asks. Let's take a look. Yeah. So the first things that we're going to look at, let's go to the daily. Weird song. I mean, the first thing that's interesting about RMO, and it's probably now is not the time, but the thing that's interesting about it is that it's found a bottom. And we like to buy stocks at the bottom around here. All right. So the RSI, I want to be lower. So the combination that I think everyone should be watching for. So let me know if you can find some stocks that meet these criteria. So this is the ultimate rat snack criteria, updated. So one has found bottom. And we want to make sure this is firm. So we'll say has firmly found bottom. All right. So that means it's testing a level. It's hit it a couple times and it's just stopping at that price. And it's better if you can go back and it has some actual price history. RMO looks like the price history is not very diverse. But if you can go back and see that level having been tested a few times, so you can have some confidence in that support level. And then number two is oversold. Looking at RSI. RSI or Bollinger Band. But RSI is going to be better. It's more reliable, in my humble opinion, at least in my experience so far. So these are what we're going to look for. So guys, look at this criteria. If you're watching live, let me know in chat if you can find a stock or a cryptocurrency or I don't care, a future, whatever, that meets this criteria, has firmly found a bottom, is touching it. So I wish I could keep this, but and is oversold. So that means the RSI is low. So that's why this one's less interesting to me. So whoever asked about RMO, look, the RSI it's got some ways to go before it's oversold. I want to see that. I want to get there. That's what would make this more interesting to me. So guys, let me know if you got tickers that meet this in either in chat or in the comments below. James, is that in response to this little challenge that I've given you? We'll do VIAC. So I'm going to copy this text because I know it's not going to be persistent with my chart unless I do something. Hold on. Visibility, blah, 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 template. Yeah, so I'm just going to copy this text. We'll do it on a notepad. How do you just... So there you go. That's the thing. Go like that. Go like that. Get rid of that. Move that. So we're looking for this. That's more reasonable. All right. So we're going to go to AVIC or VIAC. It did. Okay, got really oversold. So let's just go right off. Let's only look at RSI right now. Looking at RSI, this range, I'm drawing this up so it's easier to find when I have the chart, is a very interesting time to look at this as an entry. Now let's minimize this. See how oversold it is? Now let's minimize this and look at the range. It's going down, going down, going down, and then when it found its bottom, which it tested a couple times, we can still see we're still kind of in this oversold status. Good time to start looking at it like a rat snack. Does it have room to go? Yeah, it looks like it. This looks like just it's Viacom. Okay. Looks like it's mostly resolving the first leg of its rounding bottom. This is a great time to get in. You would have gotten this impulsive move. So just purely on this oversoldness, you could have traded for 16% on that. Here you've got this consolidation phase, and then you can see that the RSI starts to go up with the price action. But if you would have entered on that alone, we'll go from the top here. That's getting you up into this range of like 872. It's trading in like sort of this lower channel. Yeah, and you could have played that twice, maybe a couple times, depending on how you're, you know, whether you're using like options or whatever. So now where Viacom is, clear resistance at this level. But it's got this shelf here, guys. See this shelf here? We'll do it like this. We'll use a rectangle. This is your overhead supply that you need to get through with Viacom. So if we break out of this overhead supply, this thing's looking pretty good if we break out of that. Just keeping an eye on two things, though. Where I think that we're going to want to make this like a more reliable trade since there's no event coming up. We're going to want to see... Let me get my little paintbrush. Where the hell did it go? I'm only working with one eye today, guys. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, here it is. Notice that we're getting right into this sort of overbought zone. It can get much higher. I mean, look at these impulse. This is insane, dude. Absolutely insane moves. So history does repeat itself in charts. So we may have some more room to go here. So RSI is not in the overbought territory, so can move. But I would expect, since this is a resolution of this little bottom out, a little bit of a corrective phase. Remember, we always get that little corrective phase before we get into the like a true markup phase, right? So this is a possibility. I would look for some sort of selling here. I wouldn't, you know, enter on a wick break above this line and then have like a tight stop loss because I kind of expect to get stopped out. But I would expect some trading within this range, within this supply zone where there's a bunch of buying and selling activity. This price level is important to people. I can extend it further back and you can kind of see that in the price structure of the chart. See? But then to continue, I mean, sheesh. That could be a wild ass run. Why? Because you have a significant decline in buying and selling activity in these ranges. So that's just like an empty highway. Okay. So did you guys... Okay, so here's the criteria. Has firmly found bottom, lowest level of support. So this is just classic get technical stuff, right? We're looking for rat snacks. We're looking for big, fat, juicy bottoms that resembled peaches, big, juicy peaches. And then we're also looking for the RSI to be low. Justin, not sure if you're trying to contact me for something personal or if that's a ticker. In the first pop, why didn't the RSI go up? Are you talking about this phase? Just wasn't enough. SLGG. Again, we're trying to limit our indicators. So really all we're using right now is volume and price are really all that we're using. And then on the bottom here, RSI is just momentum of volume. And then this is just volume plotted against price instead of against time. So we're sticking, this is like bare bone stuff. This is mama cooking from scratch. Desktop metals. Yeah, I am not long desktop metals right now. Okay, so Manny had one, but what did we get to? We got to SLGG. Okay. So right, this was the golden time. So guys, give me a 1 in chat if you would have liked to have been able to recognize the two things I'm talking about. Found support and was oversold and would have liked to have entered SLGG at this level. Give me a 1 in chat if you would have been happy with that. Yeah, me too. I didn't catch it. Rush Street Interactive. You guys are just coming up with random shit for RSI. Mike says no. That's okay, Mike. Some people don't like making money. Communists get banned. So that's kind of the tip that I'm on. That's what I'm trying to show you guys. Like there's there's kind of like two worlds right now that are so oversaturated because of social media. There's this world where the stocks are doing this, right? Like how, guys, hit the like button, or like please hit the like button if you enjoy this content, so that we can keep providing it for you. But give me a 1 in chat if you've ever felt FOMO when people are naming, naming stocks, and they're just going like this, and you're like, I don't know, do I enter now? Am I too late? So there's this world that there's so much communication about on social media, but then there's this other world that I'm trying to show you. I'm standing in an alleyway with a trench coat, and I open it up, and I'm clothed. I got clothes on, and instead of watches, I'm trying to show you oversold stocks. Right? So these are not talked about on social media. They don't get talked about until they're like here, until they've already had like their biggest arms of their move. The game is, let's find them while they're still rat snacks. All right. So this is a really good example. I'm just going up to the chat trying to find who gave SLGG. This is a very good example of exactly what I'm talking about. But it's already happened, right? So it is happening. Like, so it's having, a pretty typical, here's hitting support, pretty typical reversal where it's, it finds this bottom, breaks out above its first, like this like swing high thing, and then retraces, and then can potentially go back up if the volume continues to come in. Yeah, PLTR. Yeah, so I just want to go back to that really quick. Was it SLGG? What side of this equation? So if I go, what side of this equation do you want to hop on? Which one do you want to find out about first? Are you on side number 1 or side number 2? Where do you want to live? Let me know in chat. Yeah, Ryan. What's up, Ryan? Ryan Faluna, Customer Success Director from Benzinga Pros, dropped into the chat. Still long SLGG with you. Like I said, I think this is SLGG is your typical reversal of the downtrend, and then you get that retracement. That's just part of the process. That's part of the cycle that every asset goes through. So we got actually 2 people that want to be on the FOMO side. What do I think about Penn? Penn. I feel like there was another stock that I was taking a look at for someone, and I completely forgot what it was. Oh, Palantir. Let's look at Palantir. I mean, full disclosure, without looking at it, I like Palantir right now. So Palantir had its moment. It found its support right here, the middle of the bottom, or the rounding bottom. You can break it down to a shorter time frame to see how many times it tests it. Perhaps 30 minutes is nice. It got super oversold. Super oversold. All right, that's the time. That's the time. And then you could average in as it goes up. And then now we're at the second test, and this one's a little bit more difficult. Are we going to break past this going back to November last year, resistance level? Well, We've broken through this. This, I believe, is what. Shout out to Jacob from Trend Spider. Congratulations on your child becoming a new dad. He calls it the the pen tool sucks for drawing. That's cursive launchpad. It calls it the launchpad. So once we've broken above this big shelf on volume profile, sitting on top of a nice ledge, we're taking a breather. How many of you guys have seen Free Solo? This dude's I think it's a good analogy for this. This dude climbs what was it, El Capitan? I'm sure there's some rock climbers that know it in here. Climbs without any gear or any safety net or any type of rope or anything, which is termed free soloing. So he's just climbing this thing like that, like basically butt-ass naked, climbing up the side of a mountain. And what he'll often do whenever he can, because his energy is finite, is find shelves or little like things that he can stand on, like right here. I don't know if that's made it any bigger, and rest. And once you do that, he's developed the gumption to climb higher. That is what I believe is where we're at with Palantir. And then we're going to break out of this. My educated forecast is that we will break out of this supply zone and then be shooting for something like that. So like $30. Samuel says he saw the hot chick in the thumbnail and joined. Samuel, I just have long hair. I'm actually a guy, but thank you. Okay, yeah. So Palantir, yes. I think the moment that I'm talking about, I'm trying to help us as a gang. I consider us kind of like a gang. You know, we're not like violent, but we're like a nice gang. You know, like we do favors. Like instead of like going around to like local shops and like demanding money, like we come and we bring them stuff. Like what do you call it? Like keto safe cookies, recipes. I know that some of the people here are into like crocheting. We crochet them the little animals that people are doing these days. We're like a nice gang. So we as a gang, this is the moment that we're trying to find. What's the indicator for the thing on the right? That's volume profile or volume by price. Yeah, canned goods. Omar, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Mitchell, I think he meant Sylvia Bellrock. No, I don't know. I think it's me with the long hair. I get a lot of compliments on it. I really appreciate it. So since Funchuck put GLBE into the chat 9 times. Oh, okay. No. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and make that go away. So BAL, I think, is the best example that I have on the top of my mind right now of where we're seeing this in action. Right? 1, has it firmly found bottom, lowest level of support? Number 2, is it oversold on the RSI or on the Bollinger Band? Right now, so far, we've only talked about RSI. This is the one. The volume came in after. Nice little trade here over 3 days, over 50%. All right, guys, that's enough from One-Eyed Neil. I would like to bring on one of my favorite people in the world, Sylvia Bellrock.
Hi, Neil. Nice to see you.
See you too. How's it going?
Good. Very good so far. Market is a little bit choppy, a little bit boring, low volatility. But I'm looking at some stocks, and some of those are looking pretty well. So how about you? How is the market treating you?
I don't know, because I can only see it with one eye.
What happened?
I'm not sure, but I think it's a sunburn on my eyelid.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a fight or something.
I don't go outside enough to get in fights.
Well, it will go away, but still, at least you're able to see with one eye. You know, that's something.
Always looking on the bright side, Sylvia Bellrock. Okay, so Sylvia, do you want to share your screen and show us which stocks you're interested in today?
Yes, sure. Let's see what we have here. Okay, I have the screen. I think you can see that.
Now we can. There we go.
Okay, very good. So I'm looking at one. I actually bought this today, but it's not doing very well. RCII. Do you know this one?
What is the ticker?
RCII.
No.
Rent a Center is the name. So anyways, it has some growth potential. As you know, I'm trying to combine a little bit more not always, but most of the time I'm trying to see if they have some growth and if they have some good fundamentals. So I want to combine those things because I have the experience that this brings us a little bit more, more favor and higher probability for success on the trades. So this is actually a good looking stock. It pulled back here into this support, a lot of sell-off days, and it's going into this. It went into that oversold, but not really oversold, but the lower bottom of the RSI, and started to consolidate here. Doge candle, a little bit of a green candle. So it looks actually pretty well. If you look at the chart, we see here this was the previous support. As you know, I'm looking at support and resistance a lot, so I really like to buy around support areas. And one of my favorite setups is looking for growth, of course, but also looking for the stock to be at the lower RSI. You don't see that a lot. So normally, if you have a nice looking growth stock, they go pretty straightforward, higher and higher, and make new highs without even looking back. And so if you see something which looks good and it is oversold, I think that's a very, very good setup. So let's see if this works. It is not very oversold, but it looks decent. We had here a couple of tests. So this was the previous breakout area, tested here once, twice, and now the third time into this area. So this is basically the stock which I'm looking at. Unfortunately, it didn't continue. So normally if I see a breakout, like you see it broke out here at 54.21, if I see that, normally I would expect it to continue higher without even looking back. Mm-hmm. But like I said, today everything is a little bit choppy, sideways. They don't follow through a lot of those stocks. Not the best thing, but the setup is still valid, still good. As long as we hold this area, everything is good with this setup. So I like the stock. What do you think?
I pulled it up on my chart, and I think, did you choose that based on what I was talking about, or did you already have that one ready?
No, I had it. Did you have it on your list or what?
No, but I was trying to find stocks that have this pattern where they've found support and are low on RSI.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't. So I know what you're looking for, but I didn't.
Same wavelength.
So that's good. Yeah, there it is.
So from my perspective, I completely agree with your assessment that it's still in play. I think that the other thing that I would want to see is just regular volume on the bottom.
Yes, that would be good, because for now we have a lot of red volume, but this is not always significant. A lot of times you see a lot of red volume and then all of a sudden they start shooting to the upside. So yes, it will be good if we see a little bit more green here. This red is not the best thing what you want to see, but still we might have here pretty soon a nice bounce. And another one which I really like, I traded in the past a lot, and some of the members traded as well, is here, Turtle Beach Corp. I don't know if you know that. Here. So yeah, this has been actually very nice volatile stock. I think the first time I brought it, it was somewhere here or even here a couple of times. Yeah, that was really nice. And then at some point it started to go sideways, like most of those stocks do. You don't have only the bright side in trading, unfortunately. So it started to go sideways, but it was pretty much holding here a very nice support area. Actually, it made all the time here higher lows, which is a very nice and bullish sign. It's exactly what you want to see if if you're looking to buy something. And nice doji candles here back. Broke out. This was previous resistance. After the breakout of resistance, again, this becomes support. And we are holding this 50 EMA here, consolidating a little bit as well, and trying to continue. It looks like we're trying to continue higher. So this is a very nice looking setup. I would prefer, of course, if we went lower, but you don't always get what you want. So it is still a good looking setup with a tight risk here. I think that might be a good idea for a continuation higher.
I'm with it. I think this is a little bit of a fundamental take, but here is highly tied to the esports / just sort of gaming industry, and I think that they got the slump with the rest of growth stocks. But I think with a return of growth stocks, that we're just going to see all these gaming peripherals just shoot right up. I actually have some similar drawings on here. I didn't pull up the moving averages, but I'm with you on that one.
Very good, very good. Yeah, it looks good. So those EMAs here are looking pretty good so far, and this small consolidation looks good. Of course, on this one, I want to see straightforward move, but it looks like it might consolidate for a while. If you look back, we had here small consolidation, here back small consolidation, couple of days. And if you look back here as well, 4 or 5 days before it took off. So that's pretty normal if they don't take off right away. Here back much longer consolidation before it broke out. So you have this a lot where they're just sitting there doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, they start to rip and go high. That's normal. Patience is key, as we know.
Patience is key.
Yeah.
Patience is key. And I just want to remind everyone, Sylvia joins us every Tuesday here on Get Technical. And if you want to keep seeing Sylvia delivering drops of solid gold knowledge into your life, please hit the like button so that we can continue doing that. I get paid to say that. Sorry, I had to.
No, that's fine. Another one which I have is here SNX. I've been trading this one a lot in the past. This has been a nice mover from 20 since the coronavirus, 26 to 130. So this is, of course, a huge move.
Holy shit.
And yeah, that's a lot. And this thing I was looking actually to short at some point because it went like crazy. And I was thinking all the time, you know what, this has to pull back. It has to pull back. I'm going to start looking for short. I never shorted it because I don't like shorting those growth stocks, and especially not if they have that momentum. But at some point, even me as a long buyer and not a short seller started looking on the short side, but it just doesn't give an opportunity. Every time it starts to make here some red candles, it pulls back just a tiny bit and then goes straight up. It's just that stock is really not pulling back at all. Very, very strong.
Wow.
So same thing here. Yeah, it is.
So it's from the lowest in March of last year, which is the COVID low, 408% up.
Yes. And what's the funny part, Neil? A lot of people are talking only about Tesla or GameStop or stuff like that. But then you have also a lot of other stocks which no one looks at them, and they make that kind of moves as well. And the funny part is that actually they're much easier to trade because they're not so crowded. So the more crowd you have, the more people are watching the stock, the more manipulated it gets, the more difficult and choppier it starts to be. And so stuff like that, which no one is looking at or less people are looking at, makes it a little bit easier to trade. So I really like that one.
That is a very good insight.
Yeah.
that you should tweet that sometime.
That is a good idea. It's a good idea. But it's with a lot of things the same. If you look at the indices, no one is paying attention to the indices, which made all-time high last week. Everyone wants to trade the hot stuff, which is, I understand, is normal. We as a human beings want to be part of some kind of a cult or something which is right now trendy or stuff like that.
I've been using the word tribe because I've been trying to avoid cult, but a cult is like the best term for it.
Or you can use that word as well. But sometimes easier stuff works as well. You don't have to find you don't have to be part of all of that. So this one is a good one. And unfortunately, like I mentioned, it doesn't pull back a lot. It didn't give us a lot of opportunity here. I would prefer if I bought it somewhere here at 116 or 118. Unfortunately, I see it a little bit late after this this reversal candle, and now it is holding here. So this might be a good one, but I would prefer, if I'm starting a position here, I would like to start a starter position and then add a little bit more here, maybe at the lower area, because it is very, very stretched, as you see. But also it doesn't look like it's going to pull back at all at this point.
And by a startup position, you mean, maybe if this is a good trade, I'll put, for example, $1,000 in it, but I'll start off with 250 and see where that goes.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So if I'm trading, let's say 1,000 shares, I'm going to start with, either half of it or even less, because it is very stretched. And if it pulls back, you don't want to chase. But also you want to leave yourself a little bit room if you are on the wrong side, or if you will have a little bit room for errors in this case. So that's the idea behind that.
Yep. And let me check in. Hey, everyone that's watching live or watching the recording, like and subscribe. I'm not going to stop saying it. It's like and subscribe. Are you guys following along on your charts? I think that's a really good idea to have your charts open and trying to follow along with Sylvia. I know I try to.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And also, guys, if you have any stock tickers which you want us to discuss, let us know. We're gonna discuss them all as long as we have time, of course. Or if you have something on watch new, I would like to know as well. If you have something interesting which you haven't discussed yet. So bring your stock tickers, guys.
I have one that I'd be interested in hearing the Bell Rock take on. VUZI.
Oh, VUZI. Oh, yes, I like this.
I'm trying to get everyone in the VUZI jacuzzi.
Very good. VUZI is a good one. I like it. I actually was, because I'm having every Friday a webinar for the members, and we were discussing that one. And we decided to watch it. Unfortunately, I didn't buy it. Somehow I'm recently slow, trying to adapt here to the new time zone, but it's not working very well. So anyways, VUZI is actually very good, came into this support, bounced back into the resistance. You see how exact, again, guys, how exact this support and resistance work. You don't need fancy, whole grail, whatever indicators which no one uses. This is actually always from one support to the next resistance, and the opposite. It always moves. The stocks always move from one level to the next level, break those, and continue moving from one level to the next level. So that's nothing fancy here. And what happened is we came into this support level, bounced into the previous resistance, which is the breakdown area, pulled back again, and it looks like we made a lower low here, and made those nice doge candles here. So the entry was somewhere here around this area. Now it is a little bit late, but it was still doable after this short-term consolidation and breakout, reclaim, I call it like reclaim of those EMAs and breakout of the EMAs. That was another opportunity here. This was around 1823. Now it broke out, but it's not like parabolic. So if someone wants to get involved in that, like I mentioned, what you can do is personally what I'm doing. If I'm a little bit late, and I know I'm a little bit late in chasing, and I still want to get involved into that stock, I'm trying to find a way to get into that. So if you're trading normal size, let's say usually something like 1,000 shares, you can make a starter with 350 or something like that. So in this case, if it pulls back, you can still add, you're in the trade. You don't have to get FOMO, fear of missing out, and blame yourself. I knew it. I didn't get into that. I should have traded that. So in this way, you're in this trade, and you're chasing, but you are just kind of making it look a little bit better with small size.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I love when we're able to address the FOMO stocks.
Yeah.
Because you know what, Sylvia, I don't know if you can relate to this, but there have been stocks that I've seen like all of my friends and colleagues mentioning nonstop for like a week, and for some reason I just don't pay attention to it. And the next thing I know, it's up like 50%.
Oh, yes, I know that. A lot of time happens to me, especially if you're somewhere in the chat room. Like, for example, in my chat room, people are mentioning here and there stuff, and I'm watching a lot of stocks. Even it happens with my own stocks. I'm watching it, and then I miss those, and then you just realize, well, I've been watching that. How come I missed that?
So true. I missed the shipping stocks.
Yeah.
Like we were looking at, I forgot which ones they were, but people in chat probably remember. A couple of people held them, and they were like tweeted at me like, Neil, don't you remember? I forgot what they were. Like it's up like 60%. Like,
oh my God,
it's my own fault.
yeah.
But it looks like Sylvia, we are getting some tickers here to look at.
Very good.
Do you want to? Are you able to see the chat?
I don't see it because I haven't found now here USB to HDMI cable for my computer, so I'm struggling on one monitor. But you can tell me the
Producer AB, we got to put together the guest gift basket for Sylvia, and let's make sure that she gets along with the cheese wheel that we also get that USB adapter. Okay, so let's do so producer AB showing himself to confirm. What all are we going to put in that gift basket for Sylvia?
No, that's cute. Thank you.
Some gummy bears.
Okay, yeah, okay, thanks. That's all I heard was gummy bears. I couldn't hear anything, and then gummy bears. So Sylvia, watch out for the gummy bears. We'll make sure to get those sent over to you. So we also got Bill Big D in the chat saying that England wins 2-0. Congratulations. I imagine that was baseball. So good. I hope they got a home run. How about SoFi?
Wait, sorry, I have to hop back in for 1 second. Omar, I do not look like Ben Shapiro. I will debate you so hard with facts and logic if you think I do.
I do not look like Ben Shapiro. I would debate you immediately.
I will debate you here.
That was a good impression. All right. Get out of here. All right. So how about SoFi?
What is the ticker? SoFi.
I
never heard of this stock. SoFi technology. Technology sounds good already. Everything is good. It looks a little. What was the news? You know that this looks like
I don't know. This is I believe Jamath Palihapitiya was an investor or potentially founder. Guys, please don't at me. But in this company.
Yes, I know. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Well, yes, it looks not bad. But again, we have here this nice breakout. And if you look at it very clearly, you see this everything. The price action is around this candles area. Went a little bit higher though and broke out this range here of this big green candle. Pulled back. I don't really like the chart though. I would like to see a little bit more cleaner chart. So if you brought it up here, I would say perfect. It broke out. Now I would like to see a little bit more pullback, consolidation. It looks like it gapped down here. I don't know what was the reason for this gap down. Gap down, made a green candle, and now it filled this gap. So again, guys, do you see that it broke here, gap down, filled the gap, and this is the exactly very short-term resistance. We can check this out on the 1 hour chart, so we will see it even more clear. You see this downtrend here, and this was our previous support, broke below, and then pull back into this now resistance after the breakdown of the support. Now this is becoming resistance, pull back into this area. And for now, it looks like this continuing lower. So this thing needs to find a bottom here. So either it needs to make something like this, to start showing some higher lows and break out of this area. Or I would like it to, I would prefer to see if it goes here lower, breaks down and then start to find support on a lower level on the daily chart. So again, you either want it to break out here and finish this downtrend, or you want it to go lower and then look for an entry. So for now, it is just in the middle of the chart, so you always want to buy at the support area somewhere. Yes, it is holding here somehow, but it is not ready in my opinion. Or you want to, to buy it as low as you can at the even lower support. Now it is kind of in the middle for me, not really doing what it should do. Again, it broke down here. It is below this 50 EMA. It cannot hold those EMAs for now. So we need to see a little bit more confirmation, and then it might set up, but it has some potential. It looks like it has potential.
All right. What other tickers do you guys want to see? Or Sylvia, if you have any on your list that are looking good, we can definitely go back to that. Everyone in chat right now is talking about masks. You guys got any tickers you want to see?
I wanted to start SENT. I don't know if I brought it last time. I'm forgetting. But if you have something else, yes, bring it up. Bring those up.
We got DraftKings twice. We got DraftKings twice, AMC, and BlackBerry.
DraftKings, it has, of course, also potential to continue higher. It is, not one of my favorite stocks, but it has a lot of momentum. But similar situation with the chart, what we already saw, guys. So it broke down here, this support, lower lows, lower highs. This is a clear downtrend, what we saw here. Pulled back into this previous breakdown, which is now resistance, rejected, continued lower. Now it looks like it made this this higher low here. So this low, it looks like it's higher than the previous one. Maybe it found here already support, but for me, the chart is not ready yet. So this is downtrending. It's heading into the previous resistance. It might reject here. And if it makes some kind of a doge candle or something like that, it might continue lower. So the chart is not ready. It will need for me, in order to join on the long side, it will need some time to develop. So for me, if I am going to look for a long trade, either it has to test one more time here the double, make a double bottom and test one more time the previous low. That would be great. Or it needs to break out here above, pull back, make a consolidation, and then continue higher. So this is something I would like to see, one of the two scenarios in order to long. For now, it is just in the middle of the chart, heading into the previous resistance. So nothing to do. We want to buy it the low. And look, by the way, Neil, we were talking about buying here at the low. Look this RSI oversold. Those work actually always very, very good.
Yes. So there you go, guys. Confirmation from Sylvia Bellrock. We did good on the RSI.
Yeah, those are great. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do a really crowded stock and look at BB.
No,
let's do AMC. AMC is going to get more people interested. Okay. Give the people what they want.
Actually, to be honest with you, I somehow like the current formation. So normally I don't trade that, like I mentioned, those crowded stocks, but we know it is manipulated and all this kind of stuff. Broke out very nice, and it is holding here for some longer period of time, this area. So again, this is a pattern which I use in my course, Baroque Blaster pattern, which means...
Wait, what is it?
Baroque Blaster.
Okay.
This means it is consolidating for a while. And the longer it consolidates, the bigger the move to the upside, the more explosive the move to the upside. So this is looking similar to what I normally would look. Consolidation on a higher level, because it is not able to pull back a lot, which means a lot of buyers are interested. And then at some point, break out of this short or long consolidation. It is going for a while now. So then break out and continuation higher. So I do like it if it was not AMC and the fact that it's manipulated,
You know what? I'm removing that from the equation. I love that you said that. Just looking at the Bollinger Band, it looks to me like there's just a volatility squeeze. Not the squeeze that you guys are thinking about, but a volatility squeeze that could be happening, which is where the Bollinger Band starts to pinch together.
Yeah, careful with this. Of course, it is consolidating very tight here, so it will explode most likely to the upside one more time. But again, personally, I'm trying to focus on different stocks.
And Fast Eddie, what stock isn't manipulated? I would say every market on the planet, no matter what the market is manipulated by some entity. But there are pockets of areas within those markets that are much more heavily monitored and manipulated than others.
Yeah, that is true. I agree with you. There are some are more, and those are, like I mentioned, the so-called crowded stocks. It doesn't mean they will not work if you're aware of that, and if you're aware what kind of risk you're putting into that. If it gets halted and all of a sudden, let's say you buy it here at 50 or at 70, and all of a sudden it gets halted because of something, and it opens at 10, you have to be aware of what you're losing here. So that's the only concern what I have. Other than that, they're all tradable. You can trade anything. You can trade whatever you want as long as you have a good risk management.
True. All right, Sylvia, we are at time. Thank you very much for coming on. Where can folks find more of that quality information and knowledge that you have to share? Thank you so much, Neil. It was a pleasure as always to talk to you and check out some stocks here with you. And I'm looking forward to next week after the holiday. Actually, we have a holiday on Sunday, and Monday the market is closed. So let's see if we got something. Probably more bullishness going into the holiday. Here's hoping everything will go up like a rocket, like a firework rocket. All right, Neil's tired today and his face is sunburned. Sylvia, thank you so much for being with us, and we will see you next week. Thank you too. Get well soon, Neil, and thank you guys for joining. See you. All right, guys, that's Sylvia Bellrock. You got the link. Get on over there. Get some of that quality education. Your trading is a business. Invest in your business. All right, what are you going to do? You're going to go out and buy what are you going to buy? A hammock for the summertime? So you can lay around like a lazy person? That's hammocks are for lazy people. Invest in your trading education. Get on over to sylviabellrock.com. All right, so that's enough shilling for me. Let's get me back on here. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the tips for my eye. Let's get one last eye cam on this. Oh, it gets worse when you zoom in. It like turns beet red. That's the real color of my skin right now. So I guess I'm gonna teabag myself right after the show. Aaron is telling me to wrap it up. But the concept of teabagging oneself, I think, is an elegant metaphor for a lot of the things that we experience in life. So I'll be reporting that. Follow me at Neil's Tweets for live tweeting while I teabag myself. So guys, thank you for that tip. Producer AB, thank you as always for dressing for the occasion with your did you just cut us? What are you doing?
No.
Okay.
I was
what is this? Are you saying like keep going? I love this. Oh,
that's this. That's like drag it out.
Oh, you want me to? Oh, so this
No.
is
I was just showing you it. This is wrap it up.
Oh, this is telling me to wrap it up. Good advice, guys. Always remember to. It's very important these days. But you don't know what's going around. Always remember to. All right. So very important. And wear sunblock. All right, guys. This has been Get Technical. I'm Neil Hamilton. Follow me at Neil's Tweets. Make sure you check out Sylvia Bellrock over at sylviabellrock.com. Producer AB, we're bringing it to you.
Crypto show coming up next
with Catherine Ross and Aaron Thomas. So stay tuned. You'll get redirected to it. Thanks for watching and happy trading.
Boom. We'll be back tomorrow.